I'm Barry Bishop. Consider myself a naturalized citizen of Norfolk. My family moved to Norfolk back in the early 60s, as a matter of fact. So I've been here a long time. I've had the privilege of being the executive director of the Greater Norfolk Corporation, and I met Bart in that capacity. And I met him early on in the process of East Beach, when the city selected him as the developer. I moved to East Beach back in 2004, to be exact, but actually my involvement with East Beach started much earlier than that. The city, back in the early 90s, in fact, former city councilman Randy Wright had an audacious vision of a new neighborhood in what was at that time some of the worst slums in the region, barring none. And I was part of a group that went down from the city that looked at Kentlands, looked at Harbortown and Memphis, looked at Seaside, which really provided a lot of the inspiration for East Beach. And then Andres Duane designed East Beach, came up with a great vision. But you know, having a great vision and a great plan is great, but you got to have somebody to execute it. And Bart Fry has done an amazing job in executing the vision that Andres Duane put on paper for East Beach. When we went down to Seaside, folks talk about Seaside all across the country. Great architecture, it's a great example of new urbanism, right close to the water, 90 acres, a lot of similarities to East Beach. But I'll tell you, Seaside is a great place to visit. East Beach is a great place to live, and there's a big difference. There are very few permanent residents in Seaside, and East Beach is really a neighborhood, a great community. I love to go to Maine every year. One of the things I love about Maine is the small towns in Maine, and in particular, the July 4th celebrations. All of them love to have their July 4th celebrations. Well, in East Beach, they've got a July 4th celebration, and it's with the golf carts, which are ubiquitous to East Beach. I think I may be the only one at East Beach that doesn't have a golf cart. But it really is a sense of community and a real neighborhood, and I think it's not just the architecture and the amenities and the attention to detail. It's a walkable, rideable, on a bike community. You can walk to things. There's a plethora of restaurants, more coming almost every week, it seems. Things to do, from the food trucks to the food market to special events. There's always something going on. And it's really a case where you can get as involved and engaged as you want or don't want. But there is that sense of connection and community that is lacking in so many neighborhoods. I used to jog around East Beach, and my knees are such now that I'm having to kind of walk around. But you know something, there's something to be gained by walking around the neighborhood, because you begin to notice things that you didn't notice before. And one of the things I noticed when East Beach was under construction, I saw the amenities, I saw the neighborhood playgrounds and parks. And I'll be honest, at the time I wondered, well, gosh, are we really going to have that many kids that will use that? And the thing that has struck me as I walk around East Beach of late is how many kids are in this community now and how multi-generational it is. And it's a multi-generation neighborhood of choice. And the other things that's really special is obviously the porches. People are out on the porches. You can say hello, and people are always saying hello. As you're going down, walking, you'll see people walking over to a neighbor's house to have dinner or bring something over to eat. There is that sense of community and connection that is lacking in so many places today. As a result of the pandemic, you begin to appreciate having neighbors and living in a walkable, bikeable community where you can walk to things and you know your neighbors. I mentioned that Seaside, great place to visit. East Beach, a great place to live. I read something the other day that less than 50% of the folks know who their neighbors are, and those folks that live at Seaside. That's not the case in East Beach. People look out for each other, and again, there's just a plethora of things to get engaged in, to get involved in, that people can choose to get involved in if they want to. It's just a great place to live. Yeah, I've actually lived in, 5 different places in East Beach, and I'm sure somebody's wondering, well, what's up with this guy? But I built a home back in, I think, 2004. I love that. I love the design process. It's fun. And there was a former development partner of mine that helped me build the house. Actually was the builder, but I did a lot of the work with him on it. So I got excited about designing another house, which I should have stuck with the first house, but anyway, built the second house. I've lived in a couple of condominiums, and I'm presently living in one of the Muse townhouses, which is perfect. And again, the point being that depending on your circumstances, if they change, there's plenty of options within East Beach. And I've noticed that people move up, move down, size-wise, depending on, again, what their needs are, but they want to stay there. Norfolk is a book with many chapters, and in many ways the chapters are going to continue to be written. But I'll tell you, at the end of the day, the chapter about East Beach and what Bart Fry has done at East Beach is going to be a powerful addition to the Norfolk story.